Hi, welcome to On the Edge. I'm your host, Matthew Wexler, and you are watching Edge Media Network, your go to source for LGBTQ plus news and entertainment. November is here. That means the holidays are officially upon us. Are you stressing about what to give your friends or loved ones? Well, fear not. Today's episode is all about fun ideas for gift giving from our friends at dMart Gear and a very special guest to share her holiday inspiration. Known as New Jersey's hardest working housewife, Anida Tension is known throughout the East Coast for her crowd pleasing performances, and she has recently crossed the Hudson to appear at some venues throughout New York City as well, which I can't wait to hear about. Remember, we are live streaming on FaceTube, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, every social media channel you can think of. So if you have questions, drop them in the chat, and hopefully we can get to them for you. Now you can bring a piece of Anida home with you in a limited edition collection that is available online at dMart Gear. Let's find out how she is planning to spend the holidays.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Miss Anida. How are you today?
I'm doing fabulous. How are you, Matthew?
I'm good. I'm good. You just woke up looking so
I woke up
gorgeous.
like this, threw on a
I
little bit of
know.
chapstick and said, let's go.
I woke up looking like this. That's
And you're
an
still
indication.
gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. I thank you. I appreciate it. I wanted to ask you, I love your name, and I just want to know sort of what the inspiration for this beautiful sort of effervescent persona, where it came from.
Oh, well, the name itself, Anita Tension, actually came from my husband's friend who was trying to crack a joke, like, oh, your wife needs so much attention. And then that's where the name came out, Anita Tension. I
Yeah,
actually started out with my first drag name was Serena Blaze, I don't know, years ago.
right.
And and over the years, it just kind of evolved, and I've changed, and life kind of, made its way through me, and I was able to grow from that, and then thus here came Anita.
Mm. And how long has Anita been sort of a hot presence in New Jersey? How long have you been performing drag? Or
Ooh.
even better, I'd love to know what your first, like when you first stepped out in heels, what that first experience was.
Oh my Lanta. Okay, well, my first time in drag, I was actually 16 years old. And it was the way that we could sneak into like the clubs in New York City. The first
Okay.
club I ever went to was Escolitas, and you would get up and drag and show up, your brother's older ID, your brother's ID, and they
Yeah,
let you
yeah.
right in because they couldn't put the two together. So
Right.
that was my first time in drag, but my first time actually on stage was in Escolita's nightclub for Princess Janae's Diva Search, and I performed that night at the competition. Did not win, but I did come back a few months later and win.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But then back then I was Serena Blaze, and now she's kind of grown. That fire's gone out, and that phoenix riz from that ash, and now she's here.
Yeah, yeah. And do you thrive on just being in front of a live audience? Is that sort of your
Oh
jam?
my goodness, yes. I mean, I feel like ever since I was young, I always loved to be the center of attention and being
Hmm.
around so many people. I remember being like the little kid dancing in the middle of the room with everybody around them. Like that was me in
Yeah.
the middle. So I always enjoyed that and having all that energy be given to me because I was always, very energetic, and it was a way of getting it out there just by doing drag and having fun.
Yeah. How hardworking is Anita? I'm curious what a day in the life of a drag queen is like. What's the tough part that's behind the scenes that we don't get to see?
I think the tough part is literally waking up and just waking up, having coffee, and then putting your face on again after having
Hmm.
just taken it off like 4 hours ago. That's the hard part. But other than that, everything else is fine. I mean, for me, the name New Jersey's hardest working housewife actually came from the fact that I was holding three full-time day jobs and still doing drag at the end. I was working in trucking. I was a logistics manager in trucking. I was working for my friend's credit repair company, doing everything online, and then I was also the showrunner for Headroom Lounge in Jersey City, which was in itself a full time job, working with all those queens. So
Wow.
all three of those, on top of doing my 6 or 7 shows a night, I mean 6 or 7 shows a week in New York City plus New Jersey. Yeah, she's a hardworking queen.
Oh my
She
gosh. I
keeps on
guess you
going no
have
matter
like
what.
a back stock of concealer just because you're not sleeping. No, I'm
Ready to go.
kidding.
Surprisingly, they're not as bad. they're not as bad just yet. Give
Right.
me a few more years and maybe we'll see.
Right.
But I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's terrific. Congratulations on the New York City gigs. I was reading recently that you are performing now at the legendary Pieces downtown. I live in Manhattan. And Haswell Greens, which I'm not familiar with that venue. So I'd love to hear about what some of the gigs are in New York City and where and how people can see you.
Absolutely. I mean, first of all, performing in New York City alone has always been a big dream of mine. I've never was able to get out to New Jersey because of holding the day jobs and then working my own drag in New Jersey. It was really
Hmm.
hard to cross that Hudson, and the shows out there don't start till 2 a.m. So having to be in the office at 5 wasn't going to work for me.
Right.
Um, Once I had left the day jobs and was like, listen, I can do this full time, I was able to get into Pieces. Thankfully, thanks to Ruby Roo, she had given me a hosting gig there every Sunday from 4 to 8 p.m. I host Balls Out Bingo. So if you're into bingo, come on down. It's a lot of fun. But being able to be at Pieces and knowing what Pieces is, and I remember seeing it all the time, every time in New York City, and was never able to get in because I was too young at the time, and they ID'd better than Oscaritas
Yeah.
did. Uh,
Yeah.
so I couldn't get in, and just knowing that now I'm a part of that family is a dream come true. Honestly, so many legendary queens work there now and have worked there. You have Bob the Drag Queen was where Shaquita, Pissy Miles, amazing names have been through there. So it's nice to be a part of that now. And Haswell Greens is actually on 52nd Street. It's like in the Times Square area.
Hmm.
And I love it so much there. It's an Irish kind of pubby restaurant, but it's a lot of fun. They do Tits Up Trivia every Saturday with Jacqueline Hyde, and I'm there twice a month with her. And then
Hmm.
we do bingo every Sunday, again with Jacqueline Hyde and DJ Gingy, and I am there with her twice a month for that as well. So
Super
busy gal.
fun. Well, I love bingo, and I love sort of like a happy hour kind of vibe that I could then grab a slice of pizza and be in bed by 9 o'clock.
That's
That's
the
just me.
wish. That's the dream. That was COVID times.
Yeah, yeah. Now we're staying up later. But pieces like we had such of the many tragedies of the past 18 months. So many clubs closed in New York City,
Yeah.
but Pieces has been around such a long time, and I just have fond memories of it because there's such a sense of community there,
Oh
which
yeah,
is really cool to
absolutely.
see. Which brings us to dMart Gear and this sort of collaboration and limited edition collection that they're doing, not only with you but with a bunch of local drag queens. How did that connection come about? There's one of the items, a muscle tee with your pretty
Oh, I
face on
love
it.
that shirt. My housewife spliffin.
Hmm.
So I actually was introduced to them through a friend, Michael Cook. He introduced me to DMark because he knew I wanted to get some merchandise out there. And as soon as I met them, it was immediate. We clicked, became really good friends. I love Chuck and Danny. They're absolutely amazing and so talented. And as I was working with them, a lot of the girls that I was working with in the nightclub scene, they were always like, "Oh my God, I love your merch. Where are you getting it?" And then it was like, "Well, let me introduce you to them." So it
Yeah.
started off with just, one girl, and now I think we're up to like 8 or 9, and I have another 3 or 4 emails to send to them saying like, "Hey, here's another girl for you,"
Hmm.
because it's hard not being a drag race girl. Sometimes not having that behind you, so you have to work 10 times harder for less money, but it is what it is. We go out there and we do what we have to do, and having the merchandise definitely does help, and it helps build a brand for yourself, and having people basically walk around with your face on their shirts, or mugs or t-shirts or
Yeah.
anything.
Or clap
It's
pan. Show me the new
or
clap
a clap
pan.
fan. This is one of my favorites, actually. Oh, the pin. Oh, I love that pin. So this is one
Yeah.
of my favorites. This is one of the newest ones we have. It's the I Love Anita fans, which is really inspired with the Lucille Ball, who's a big
Yeah.
inspiration
Absolutely.
for me in drag. I do love Lucille Ball. I love that the movie's coming out soon, Living with the Ricardos.
Hmm.
And I've always loved her. I think she's absolutely fantastic. She's a ginger, just like me.
Right.
But I watch I Love Lucy every single night. I mean, I do some Lucille Ball impersonations. I have a excellent number by her, the Vitamita Vegemin, which I've done all
Oh,
over New
how
York
fun.
City. Yeah,
Right.
it's so much fun. When you get a chance, come and check it out.
I'm going to be at pieces, I'm telling you, and then I'll probably just follow
Come on
your.
down for bingo. Come on down
Yes.
for bingo. And that pin, I love that
I
pin.
know. It's
Um,
so much
I
fun.
actually wanted to do pins. A friend of ours, Coco Peru, had these lovely pins, and I was just like, I really want one of those. So luckily, Chuck and Danny were like, we can definitely do those, and I said, let's do it. The artwork for that was actually done by my friend Sabrina Slayer, who's a Jersey City drag queen, amazing, amazing queen, and she's an amazing artist. She's done a few pieces for me. That one specifically she did, and I loved it. It was just absolutely gorgeous. And I was like, you know what? We're gonna make it a pen, and we're just gonna put them all over people everywhere.
Yeah, I think it's great. And I love, that you brought up the importance of sort of like diversifying what you're able to do. We have a story coming out on Edge Eye, which is our featured division on Edge Media Network, about sort of the commerce behind the drag scene, and sort of what it means for queens to diversify what they're able to do. So there's some sort of passive income. So every dollar generated isn't you in your high heels, like, that there's other
Yeah,
ways to
exactly.
kind of build your brand. And a huge part of that are companies like dMart Gear that are supporting drag queens like yourselves. So we have their co-founders, co-owners, Chuck Migliore and Danny Martinez with us. We want to bring them on and talk about their creation. Hey guys.
Yay.
Guys, how are you?
Hi, my loves.
Good. Oh, I've got a little doggy that's sleeping here. He's just chilling out.
I think that was ours.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I would love for, so we've done a few stories about dMart Gear, and we've got a great gift guide coming out this holiday season that's going to have a product or two of yours to feature as well. But in your own words, I'd love to hear about how the brand, how you guys met and how you decided to go into business together, which is a whole other thing than just going out for a drink.
We've been together for about, what, 8 years now?
8 years. Yeah, Michael Cook is the same.
Basically introduced us.
That introduced us.
Mhm.
No, yeah, we've been dating for 8 years, and then back in 2017, we decided to
Start dMart Gear, basically.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be what it is today. It was we didn't kind of have a plan. We just kind of went with it. Like, oh, we should start making T-shirts. We have funny things. Danny's a great artist, and
no, I'm an illustrator, so struggling to find work, and so I'm like, oh, I can design shirts, and
yeah, so you just created it.
Drag race fan, so I'm like, and I would always see like funny sayings, and I'd make. So we decided, why don't we just start printing these on shirts? And
it kind of started off as a side gig, but now it's kind of evolved into more of a full time. We both had full time jobs at the time when we started, and now it's basically pretty much. Since COVID, I've been running it full time now. So it's definitely taken off a lot in the past year and a half or so.
How did you find the past 18 months sort of affected your business? Did you find people were shopping more online, or did you have to hustle more to sort of get the word out on the brand? I'm just curious. This is just a shot from your website on some of the things that you're having right now, autumn and Thanksgiving products, but.
So, I mean, it was a big change for us once COVID hit, because we basically went from like selling T-shirts and hoodies to face masks. That was our main source of income for like a good 6 or 7 months.
Yeah, but online business like started booming too ever since that.
Yeah, we've getting a lot more sales. I mean, it's just been a crazy year, and we never thought we'd be selling face masks. So it was a big switch, and you had to do it pretty fast. So it was kind of like, all right, stop what you're doing, switch over to this. But this summer, like around Pride, it was really busy this year for Pride. We sold a lot of stuff in May and June. So, I mean, the sales, I would say, were pretty good overall for online sales during the pandemic.
And are you in local shops as well? Like, can people find products, I guess, throughout New Jersey or other places on the East Coast?
No, not currently. We're only on web-based right now.
Yeah.
All right. That means our viewers,
I should say. Eventually, yes.
Check out the website, dmartgear.com, and their Instagram page that always has promotions and seasonal things that are happening at dMart Gear. I'm curious what you guys think. Sort of a broad question, but it's just generally about LGBTQ acceptance has changed since you first came out. I mean, do you feel that sort of evolution of being out and proud sort of impacted your decision to start this kind of business that really is sort of a celebration of LGBTQ plus diversity?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think just everything that's so much more, there's so much more visibility with LGBTQ. So, I mean, just go online and to see all these ads, and it's just so much easier to access, I guess.
Yeah. So beyond Anida, she indicated a little bit that you partnered with some other local drag queens for sort of these capsule collections. Why has it been important for you to support local talent?
Well, we're up to 9 drag queens now that we do merchandise for. We started working. Yeah, we started working with Anita almost about a year ago now, and since then it's exploded. And I just think, with the pandemic and everything being closed, and a lot of people, they weren't performing, they weren't able to go to the bars and clubs and perform for the audiences and stuff like that. So I think this was an outlet for them to make some money and for us to help support the community and help them, not survive, but help them get some kind of income, because they lost that piece of it with the pandemic, and it just exploded. And it's just been like I said, Anita said she's been sending queens over to us and they love working with us. It's just so easy. They don't have to worry about anything. We handle everything for them. There's no, what I mean? We do it all for them, basically. All they have to do is promote the merchandise, basically. So it's been really good.
Oh no, I was just saying it's been the easiest process working with you guys. I absolutely adore it and love it. I'm like your little recruit minion.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff that we do is made to order. Some of the stuff we outsource, but like all the T-shirts and hoodies and stuff like that, we make it all in house. So it's like there's no inventory unless they want to, get a bulk to bring somewhere or something, which is the best part, I think. And I think that's what a lot of where it comes from. A lot of people like that is like you don't have to worry about having a bulk of inventory. So it's been a great experience, and it helps. We just I feel like we're giving back, and we're always going to shows and seeing and performing, performances and tipping. I was like, well, we can do more. And this past summer, we did a website refresh, actually, and we focused more on the local drag queen. We wanted an actual spot just for local drag. We wanted it to be out there. And we also do a couple local shops as well, too. We've taken on over the past year. So it's been really exciting. We've got a lot of people over the past year. It's been great.
Yeah.
So Anita, you've sort of become this accidental drag ambassador, making these connections.
Pretty much.
It's just a part of my title, hardest working housewife, honey. We gotta go out there and make it work for everybody. Like they had mentioned, with the pandemic, a lot of us, we lost all of our shows. We had nothing but to sit home and think about what to do next, and a lot of that was online shows and performing in our living rooms for a lot an internet audience, but there was no one there, and kind of doing that for months on end. And then after a while it was like, well, this just isn't going to cut it. We have to find something else to do. And I had started my own business. I started my own business, Tension Entertainment LLC, and I was doing my little own merchandise on the side. And I was the one with the boxes of inventory in my drag room and having all of that here. And it became such a hassle. So then when I met Chuck and Danny, they streamlined the entire process for me, and it made it so much easier. And a lot of other queens were like, well, how are you doing this? How are you thriving like this? And I see everyone walking around with their shirts, and how are you getting this done? And I said, well, meet Chuck and Danny. They're the ones who are basically doing it all for me, and it makes it so much easier. One, they're affordable. The prices are not cheap. Not expensive. I said that wrong. The quality of the products
affordable but glamorous.
Yes, affordable but very glamorous. The quality of the products are absolutely amazing. Check out this lovely apron that I have made from them. Look at this. When I'm in the house cleaning and cooking for my husband, I put on this lovely apron, my housewife slipping apron. I love it. I have a shot in my Anida Tension shot glasses that you can now get available on my page from dMart Gear.
Shameless plug. I want to ask you because, we are at the beginning of the holidays, Anita, and this is the way I'm hearing it, that sort of your family of choice is so important to you. Our LGBT plus community, we have our birth families, and those can be great, but they can also present challenges depending on what those particular situations are. But it sounds like you've also created this beautiful family of choice with your drag sisters. Is that true?
Absolutely. Especially the girls that we're all together with dMart. We have Harmonica, Sunbeam, Androgyny, Kimmy Moore, Kimmy Sumony, Magnolia, Apple Bottom. We all get together. Well, we try to. Some of them are in different states, but a lot of the local ones here, we get together and we just try to make the most of our time together, especially during the holidays. Some of us don't have the real family there. I'm fortunate enough to have that. I have my parents who are very supportive of my drag and my career. They try to come to as many shows as they can. And outside of them, I have Chuck and Danny, I have Michael Cook, I have all these other queens who are family to me, and being able to spend the holidays with them and getting together is just as important as seeing my real family, because to me that is my family. And it's just been amazing, especially this last year, with COVID happening and the pandemic still raging on. Being able to build those friendships and those family members, those new family members, all together has been astounding. I love it. Absolutely love it.
It's giving me warm fuzzies. It's giving me warm fuzzies. I need a hot cider with maybe a little bourbon in it or something.
Oh, a good hot toddy, and you can use an Anida Tension mud.
Yes, that's right. I wanted to talk a little bit about some things that you have for the holidays, but before we get into that, Danny, I wanted to ask you, because a huge part of this, I think, is the sort of like the design aesthetic. So I'm just curious how, although as Anita mentioned, sometimes outside designers are brought in for particular products, but you're doing a lot of these illustrations. Do you have a conversation with the queens? Like, how do you sort of create their personas in terms of these illustrations?
Yeah, no, definitely have a conversation with them, kind of get a feel for what they're looking for. And then I kind of browse through their like Instagram and look at their shows and kind of get a feel for their energy and like their colors that they like, and kind of put things together, and we put like I'll do some sketches and I'll send them over, and there's like it's kind of a work in progress. Sketches, they like it. They do some edits, change some things, but I love doing it. I love creating art, and then the fact that I have an outlet to do this, it's great.
It's fun. I think what's exciting about it for me when I was browsing the website, and hopefully our viewers will see when they think about shopping for the holidays, it just has so much personality. Even if you don't know who the queens are. Oh, and there we're kicking off. Shady Pine, little bear. There's a whole bear collection. Who has a cub at home? Do any of you have a bear that you're keeping at
Daddy, right?
I have a silver fox at home. I have a silver fox and 3 pussies.
Okay. Wow.
My little kitties.
Now, so actually, we used to have 2 websites, and one of them was verifiedgear.com. It was strictly bear gear, but it got a little too much to handle after a while with the 2 websites and updating them both and getting both sites ready for the holidays, and it was just way too much. So we just combined it.
Merged them together.
Yeah, merged it into one website. It's a lot easier. It's easier to maintain. We're small. We're not we don't have people working behind the scenes doing everything for us. It's I do the website and front end stuff, and Danny does the art, and we're printing. So it's a lot. So I was like, we can't do both websites right now.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. There's a super fun weekender bag. And I had never, I've been to Fort Lauderdale so many times, and I had never heard of it as referred to as Fort Lauderdale. But
there's that. Brilliant. The other one, Fort Lauderdale's the other one, FUR Lauderdale. Yeah. That's the other one.
It's like little play on words.
Yeah, people love stuff like that. It's just like something that's catchy and fun. So, but it's basically where all the bear gear came from, is we kind of combined it into one website. So,
yeah. And who doesn't need a cute little otter weekender or
right? They're great for traveling.
Those weekender bags are absolutely amazing. They're perfect for the beach too.
Yeah, they're great. So I mean, they're roomy. I take them all the time when I go away. So I mean,
same.
Get the matching beach towel to go with it. You could go to the beach. So
yeah, they're super fun. So there's some other cool products that I'd encourage people to check out that are kind of practical as well, like power banks and earpod cases. But with the holidays, this was so much fun, and I think I'm going to get it for a friend of mine. This ornament that has Anita on it. Anita, how do you celebrate the holidays? Do you have any traditions that you share with your husband and pussies?
My biggest thing is I always want to stay home for the holidays with my husband. However, that never gets to happen. I'm either going to be working or we're traveling around to go see family. So that's usually how we spend our holiday, traveling around to go see family or working. But what I'd like to do is I would love to just stay home, watch movies, cuddle up with our cozies and blankets, and have some hot toddies.
Right.
That's what I would love to do.
There's 2 items that I found that just sort of spoke holiday to me. There's the mug for the hot toddy, joyful and triumphant.
There we
Super
go.
cute. You can have a hot chocolate, or you can have an adult beverage in that if you choose. And then there's a really fun blanket that I thought was super cute as
I
well.
love that one.
I love
It's
that
so
blanket.
funny. Sometimes things get a little out of
It's so
control.
warm.
Oh, those
Especially during the holidays. That good eggnog. It's that good eggnog.
We have them here. They're so comfortable. They're just so warm. We love them.
Yeah, that's super cute. Danny and Chuck, how do you guys spend the holidays? You have a tradition that you have maintained? Depends.
Well, we actually just moved back to New Jersey about a year and a half ago. So we used to live in Boston. So it was kind of like a lot of back and forth, and we would come down, and it was always so rushed. And last year was kind of like because it wasn't like your traditional Christmas or whatever. So we're actually looking forward to it this year.
We usually spend time with our family, which is all based here in New Jersey.
Yeah, we both have big families,
we do. I'm Cuban, so we do a big Cuban pig roast on Christmas Eve.
That sounds so delicious.
So I'm excited that we can
actually enjoy it this year. We're not here rushing around to see everybody and then driving back up to Boston and go to work again. Yeah. So it'll be good. I mean, it's hard for us to spend time with each other. Like we try to spend some time, but we kind of do our own thing with our own families. But luckily we're not that far apart. Like my family's not far from his, so we try to meet up somewhere where he tries to come to my house and I go to his parents' house, for just to say hi and see everybody. But it's hard.
Yeah.
But I mean, our families are so big, so we try to do what we can.
It's a lot of obligations, and it's probably a tricky time for a year for you. I mean, hopefully by a few days before Christmas, your sales and things like that are wrapped up. But I imagine from now until the middle of December, you're just kind of full gear.
Right after Thanksgiving, that Black Friday time, we're just slammed.
It starts, and it's just last year was a little earlier with everything because everyone's like, oh, order early because of shipping, and I imagine it'll probably be kind of similar this year with everything, but. Right. It's nonstop, and it's like at one point we had to stop taking, like we do custom work, and was like, we can't take any more custom orders at this point. And then it's just not going to happen. We won't get it to you in time. There's just no way. It's just been one thing after other. So we encourage people to order custom stuff earlier so we can get it out there.
Yeah, but usually it's like the last week before Christmas.
Yeah, right up until we're still printing shirts like the 18th, and like, can I get this in time? Or so we're gonna have to pay for express shipping, but we can get it out to you. So it's right up to the end. We're busy.
Right. Do you have any things that you're planning on rolling out in early 2022? Are there any sort of shifts in terms of products? Or I know there's some new queens that will probably be seeing some new, queens represented, but other things that you're hoping to launch in the new year?
Well, we want to expand. We have on the website a spot for pet merchandise, and we haven't quite gotten there yet. It's just had been too busy this year to get it up and rolling. So that's one of the goals for next year is to get some pet stuff out there.
Yeah.
And then
I'm excited to do like some holiday stuff for the queens. I'm kind of working on some ideas with that. And then for the new year, do some
probably come out a lot. Like we'll do some more new Pride stuff this year. Every year we try to come out with a couple of different things for Pride just to kind of keep it fresh. But we have some of the old stuff, like it still sells. It's like 2 or 3 years old, the designs, but they're like favorites. So you know what I mean? Yeah. We try to keep, try to put something else out there that's new. The ornaments are newer this year. We started doing those. And the best part about it is say Anita wants something on, I don't know, something that we don't carry, and we could always say, hey, we could probably get that for you and look into it. And now we have something new that's out there. So we're always changing and adding things to the website. And the best part is like you can have your merch like on so many different things, your products, because there's no inventory. So if you want to have 10 different items out there, we can do 10 different items for you, which is the great thing about it. Is like it's no merchandise to keep like in your room or anything.
Right.
That's one of the pluses.
It's awesome. Well, I can't wait to see what you come up with. And that leaves more room for a beautiful wardrobe for you, Anita, because you don't have to have boxes of clap fans and aprons.
Well, I mean, even now, the wardrobe is kind of taking over.
Well,
it's okay. I'm getting ready to add more into this. So it always grows. It's always growing.
Well, people always want to see what a drag queen is going to wear next. That's just part of the joy of going to a club. Before we let you go, I wanted to leave with a final question, Anita, for you is what your hope is for our LGBTQ plus community as we head into the new year. It's only November. We've got 2 more months left to kick out 2021. What would you love to see
I would like
celebrated?
to see, honestly, I would just like to, I would like to see more of what I'm seeing now, which is people are going out, and they're not acting crazy anymore. They're not being messy or rude to the bar staff, or even when they're going out to eat, they're not being rude to the waiters anymore. And I'm seeing more of that, and I would just like to see more of that, more kindness, more love being spread through, more awareness when it comes to HIV, when it comes to PrEP and being educated. I would like to see more of that. Just keep on going, and more togetherness, more community. We're one big community, and we've been, fighting since the dawn of time for, rights and love and to be equal. And to have that within our own community is a treasure. And I would just like to see more of that keep on coming. Keep on working for each other and helping each other out along the way. If you see a queen that's new and starting out, help her out as much as you can, because we wish we had that when we were growing up. Just being there for each other more.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, there's lots of love to spread around, and it's the season to do it
Absolutely.
and to carry it over to 2022. Well, thank you all, Chuck and Danny and Anita, for joining for this very special holiday kickoff.
Thanks for
It's
having
great
us.
seeing
Thank you
all
so
of
much for
you.
having us.
Yeah, and we hope to see you all soon.
Awesome.
Yes.
Talk soon, Lane. Take care.
All right, take
Mwah,
care.
bye.
I don't know about you, but I am ready to do some shopping. You can find all of the items that we showcased today on dmartgear.com, plenty more. I would encourage you to shop early and check those names off your list. But if an engagement ring is on your shopping list this season, you are going to want to tune in next week for our rescheduled episode with LGBTQ wedding planner Jason Mitchell Kahn. He's going to give us all the tips and tricks we need to plan the ultimate wedding. Of course, you can always tune into edgemedianetwork.com for all the latest news. Follow us on social media to see those breaking stories first. And check out our brand new Fast 5 video every Friday, where we are recapping some of the week's most notable stories in a hot 60 seconds. Until next time, I'm Matthew Wexler, encouraging you to live on the edge.